Commanders, get ready for Update 1.18.1. Here's what you can expect. Sixth Sense forever and for everyone. Improvements to personal reserves. More changes to maps. Very cute witches and cats. Plus an exciting new mode. Onslaught is a brand new mode for Tier 10 vehicles. Battles take place in the 7v7 format with new mechanics and a rating system. In Onslaught, you'll need to use special skills that highlight and enhance each vehicle's role. Prepare for accelerated reloading for assault medium tanks, artillery strike for sniper medium tanks, and even hit point restoration for super heavy tanks. Each skill can only be obtained and improved in battle. You can also capture points of interest to order a reconnaissance operation on the whole map or request powerful artillery support. In Onslaught, you'll have the option to fight alone, with a friend, or in 7-person super platoons. That's right, for the first time, your entire team can form one big platoon. Solo and 2-person platoon players will still have access to the team-wide voice chat, so don't forget to enable it in your settings. Join Onslaught. Fight your way to the top. Play against equals and receive rewards, including the game's first progressive 2D style, Wing and Claw. One look at a tank's color, and you'll immediately know who's who on the battlefield. You can learn more about Onslaught and all of its features in our dedicated video, or in the article on the game portal. Now for something you've all been waiting for. Let there be light. The Sixth Sense perk has officially transformed into a Tank Commander feature. This means you'll no longer need to train it. Your way will always be illuminated by default, forever and for everyone. The crew members with Sixth Sense already trained will have their spent XP fully reimbursed and used to train the major qualification to 100%, as well as finish training an uncompleted skill or perk. The remaining XP will turn into crew member XP, which can be used to train a new skill or perk. If Sixth Sense was a 0 perk, you'll be able to choose a different 0 skill or perk in its place. However, you won't be able to reset the chosen 0 perk, so choose wisely. The skill and perk interface has been improved as well, with 0 perks now displayed separately. The increased focus directive that provided and improved the Sixth Sense perk will no longer be sold, but you will keep the directives you have in your depot. But that's not the only good news, Commanders. We're also reworking the entire personal reserve system. Now, the interface will be much easier to use. Reserves can be opened and activated in a few clicks, and each type will have its own timer. You will even be able to activate reserves right in battle. When activated, they'll apply to the current battle as well. The 4 old reserve categories have turned into 3: credits, combat XP, and a combined reserve for both free and crew XP. Moreover, all reserves will now have a duration of 1 hour. The rates have also been standardized so that all reserve types only have 2 values. But most importantly for you, players won't lose anything in the process. The conversion rate for old to new reserves will work in favor of the players. To learn more, check out the article on the game portal or our dedicated video on this channel. As always, we're continuing to improve our maps to boost your gaming experience. On Malinovka, the hill in Sector E7 will become less steep. It will now be easier to climb without being spotted. On the upper base, the terrain has become more even, and the village has been moved from the possible line of fire. Also, both teams will now have only 1 bush in their captured circles. New rocks were added to Sand River in Sector A6. This will allow players to ascend the hill more safely. In Sector K0, there is a new point to cross the canyon. By crossing here, it will be easier to get to enemies nesting in the rocks. The valley at the center has also changed significantly. It now features a different terrain, new positions for firing from various ranges, and new retreat routes. In addition, the valley will be much more protected against fire from flanks and TD positions. Next, Fisherman's Bay. The approach to the town from the north has become safer. Now, heavy tanks face less risk of receiving significant damage at the start of the battle. In addition, the key positions are now even more appealing for flanking maneuvers. The buildings in Sector F9 are now similar to the buildings on the other side. This will help balance the team's chances, since the lower team won't have to deal with such thick vegetation anymore. New cover has been added for both sides in the center of the map. A terrain fold was added near the center to help the lower team move as safely here as the upper team does. Some cover was removed from the firing position in C9 to make it less advantageous. More improvements to Himmelsdorf have also been made. On this map, the lower team has always had 2 ways to the hill, while the upper team has had only 1. Now, the upper team will have their own safer way to retreat as well. All of these changes were inspired by your suggestions and rigorous testing. We hope you like them. That's all for Update 1.18.1. Or maybe it's just the beginning.